all. So like they've been on it for years at this point, and we're about to see them go for it again. And looks like we're starting this matchup.
Yeah, let's get into things here. I think the interesting thing is, like, this is one of those bags you think you'd have like an SDPC or something, but these are two players who don't do that sort of thing. They're just playing fundamentals right now.
Yeah, looks like QMK, he started with a miss drop there at the beginning, didn't manage to fix it. Togaia not able to actually pressure enough to get the kill, but now it looks like Togaia getting such a nice spike there, and QMK not ready with the down stack, and Togaia with a quick win.
Yeah, I think both these players are fairly down stack heavy, at least in that first round. We'll see how that changes as the set goes on. QMK going with the all clear there. Maybe changing things up immediately.
I do know QMK has practiced those PCs before, so they do have it in their repertoire. Still a little bit surprising to see, but I mean, they managed to get through it here, and now they're trying to build that back-to-back to pressure Togaia. Togaia just trying to downstack a little bit here, not able to build up their own chain, but on the other end, QMK is forced to break out of theirs, as they did not have the cleanest board state to continue.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of strong pressure from both players here. Very, very strong offensive round. Togaia going into this LST here makes it down to that garbage well as well, but QMK is going to employ that timing. Very good at that. And neither player is really in danger right now.
I mean, but as you say that, Togaia is starting to get that pressure up. QMK does find the downstack, and Togaia getting a little greedy at the top there to not find a way out, and QMK ties it back up. Yeah, Togaia just could not get the kill, and QMK, if you let them live for a second, they will make their way down.
Absolutely. Very, very good at that. Oh, and also really good at dealing with those like huge spikes, as Togaia is known to do here. Like, Togaia is trying to build up this back-to-back chain, but QMK is just going to be able to survive, as always. Just so strong at that. And yeah, absolutely able to outlast Togaia's back-to-back.
Yeah, I think as long as QMK can last long enough for Togaia to miss drop, which they have been doing semi-frequently at this point, then they can actually get out. And right now they're trying to get out of this Togaia pressure. Togaia, again, once miss dropping, like we just said, and QMK able to survive even though they were in a really difficult spot. And now Togaia, the one being sent up as QMK starts to build that back-to-back.
Absolutely. Oh, gets a little bit of a combo there going into that Tetris. Going to start clearing down that well, gets down to the garbage. Togaia is sent far too high up to continue there, with a couple of unfortunate misdrops. QMK is going to take the lead.
Yeah, I feel like just pretty even set so far. I feel like Togaia has not been as aggressive as I was expecting, but it is still the start of the set here. I mean, as I say that, they go for that 4.7 PPS burst right here, keeping that back-to-back strong right now. QMK is able to have their own chain, but still a little bit behind. Does make it to such a clean well to actually spike up Togaia, but Togaia still keeping this 15 back-to-back going here, forced to break it out as QMK sends another spike.
That's wild, and that fractal is kind of crazy, going into the combo right after to tack on a little extra cheese there. But QMK is going to cancel it. That top player
forced to downstack a little bit in the meantime, but it looks like, yeah, Togaia was not in a position to actually start some more pressure, and once again, it let QMK get out of that tough spot, and with that, Togaia is the one sitting at the top, but such a clean downstack to make it down to the bottom. Now QMK is the one trying to downstack and not able to downstack fast enough as Togaia builds a nice 4 back-to-back chain to tie it right back up here.
Yeah, it's an even game yet again. I think these rounds, even though they're like so offensive, they're still lasting a fair amount of time here.
Yeah, I think both of these players just have a really good ability to survive a lot of difficult situations. I know Togaia relies a lot more on speed in that regard, but QMK is a master of efficiency and can make their way out of nearly anything, and we can see that so far. They've been playing beautifully. But right now it is Togaia that is starting to pressure here, does have that 4 back-to-back chain built, and has such a clean wall to work with. QMK trying to find any way down, does get a nice combo to get through it, but Togaia is still pressuring until their back-to-back does break.
This pressure is wild from Togaia, but yeah, QMK is playing really, really well against it here. Just gonna make perfect use of that garbage, perfectly time everything, and even though like Togaia has been trying so hard to just close out the game here, QMK is just saying no.
Yeah, I just feel like at almost no point is he in a bad situation, but never mind. Togaia looked at my face, spat at it, and just sent QMK 50 lines at once.
What a wild sequence there, and that's what you need to kill QMK, honestly. Like, QMK is not gonna die without something crazy. And we're gonna be able to see that here. Oh,
yeah, QMK! Yeah, that offense, don't mess around. They know how to bring it just as well. And again, tied up, these players are just keeping it close.
Yeah, just going so quickly here, switching things up every now and then to kind of interrupt the rhythm of your opponent. It's wild.
You can see that QMK speed up. Looks like they do slow down a little bit here to break that back-to-back. Togaia not stopping with that speed, though, still bursting at 3.7. Starting to get that back-to-back chain, but looks like they didn't have a clean enough forward state to keep it for long. Do still followed up with such a nice 27 spike there. QMK forced to downstack through a bit of cheese that they got sent, but still makes it all the way down super nicely, while Togaia now dealing with so many misdrops at the top, cannot find a way out. And QMK again taking the lead here.
These piece placements are so nice from QMK. That is crazy. Like, just the way they can like downstack, and you can also like just get so much pressure off of it too, just at the same time accomplishing both goals here. Absolutely crazy, and just keeps making it happen here. Gonna start pressuring a little bit. This back-to-back X11, get Togaia also building up some, but that misdrop on the T-spin overhang is not what you want to see. Tries to burst out of it, but can't quite make it out. QMK is going to close it out.
Yeah, and with that, QMK taking the first 2-point lead of the set here. Obviously, we are still not even at the halfway point, so Togaia can make it back. They are trying to now with this PC, unable to get the second one as they do misdrop. Does give QMK the opportunity to send a huge spike here. If they had another eyepiece, they could have gotten the mid-game PC themselves, but Togaia looks like they don't care. Starting to speed up here, sending so much, and QMK cheesed up. Could not make their way through, and Togaia inching closer to bringing it back to tied.
Yeah, absolutely. Going so quick right now. Trying for this LST now. Togaia is just pressuring QMK. We see this like complete pause, and the PC comes out. QMK can't time that.
Yeah, it's hard to time a PC when you're already at height 18, and with that, Togaia brings it back to even here. Looks like momentum starting to be in their favor, and they get another PC to follow up here. QMK, though, seems fine, making their way down. Gets that mid-game MKO setup to keep it going here, but Togaia is not stopping. 8 back-to-back here. QMK trying to defend through it all and does such a nice job, but Togaia is still continuing with this pressure. Non-stop, endless barrage of attacks, and QMK struggling to make their way down, but finally able to break Togaia's back-to-back and survive till another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the survival here from both players is absolutely crazy, and it just keeps on happening. They both try to like pressure each other out, but it just no one wants to die yet. It seems like QMK is really high up, but Togaia doesn't quite have the finishing blow. Gets that multiplier a little bit late though. QMK pausing at the top, that misdrop.
Yeah, that was so costly. They had such a nice down stack to follow it, but just one mistake there, especially at the top, that's what cost you games, and Togaia taking back the lead here.
Yeah, for sure. Now trying to keep that lead going with this LST here, keeps up the height difference here, is just gonna keep sending and sending these attacks. And QMK is being sent up really high, counter spikes, almost clears down that well, but gets a little bit of a misdrop, can clear it out anyways. Is fast enough to do so. But Togaia still going for this back-to-back. Still keeps it going here. This is more damage.
QMK! That's survival!
It looks like QMK just isn't phased at all. It just looks like another day in the park for this guy. He's just gonna keep on sending here. Goes to 11 spike, and oh no, QMK is just gonna knock out Togaia there, tying it all the way back up.
That was 270 APM by Togaia, but QMK was like, no, thank you, I do not care, and still takes that win there. Keeping it close once again here, and starting this round with the pressure themselves there. Togaia is the one forced to find a down stack, does make it down, but QMK sending another massive spike, immediately sending Togaia back to the top. It is just so much pressure going on in this game right now. Looks like QMK finally breaking their back-to-back, giving Togaia a little bit of room to finally breathe.
Absolutely, there's so much pressure going on in this set, but neither player is really sent up like super high, at least right now. It's crazy. They both just cancel out, even with all of this damage, though Togaia with some misdrops now is gonna have to spend some time clearing that up. But QMK isn't in a position to immediately start pressuring, and Togaia is almost basically completely out at this point, just has a little bit of cheese to deal with, but that is no issue here. Oh, that misdrop yet again!
Yeah, continues it with the shot. Can't fix it. QMK again taking the lead. It's literally just switching back and forth. One person has the lead, then the other just wins. What is it, 2 in a row to regain the lead? It's just so back and forth right now. This is a nail biter so far. I feel like it's going to come down to the wire at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. This is really close. If there was deuce here, that would go wild.
It would go forever, but thankfully we do not have to deal with that tonight. But that is even more pressure for the players, because they don't have that room if they tie it up at 10-10. And right now, Togaia is struggling at the top here, trying to get the win. Does find a down stack there, sends a huge spike to QMK, but QMK with such a clean board, able to make their way through it. Sitting back at the bottom, but Togaia with more and more spikes back to back there. QMK looked like, I don't know if that was a mistake, but that was such a clean donation to keep that back to back, and they're still going with it. Might be forced to break it here, yeah, but Togaia is sitting at the top there. Now they're the ones trying to down stack, and it's just so back and forth by both of these players.
Both of these players like always have an escape option if they're sent up as well. Just make sure to like stay safe. Even if you like build like a setup up there, you always have a way out. That's what you need to in order to survive, or else you get just spiked out. And neither of these players are getting spiked out. Mainly it's due to like misdrops that they get topped out here. But they're just both playing so well. Both have such a control over the game. They're just both going so... It's wild. Even with these like misdrops from Togaia.
Yeah, I mean... Their ability to downstack, even misdrops they can fix, but looks like QMK, looked like they got a little too greedy at the top, and Togaia took advantage there, bringing it back to even. I feel like I've said that for the 15th time this set, even though we haven't had that many ties, but it does not matter here, folks, right now. Togaia here starting to pressure QMK, looked like not ready for that attack there, and once again, Togaia getting a win there when QMK was not prepared, taking the lead back.
And yet again, like a broken record, we're back to yet another person taking the lead. Togaia takes the all clear there, isn't able to follow it up before QMK gets almost all the way down. Is just going to use up that clean garbage in order to kind of cancel out here. Gotta play it safe at this point, because like one mistake and you're gone, you're out of here. both these players are going to be able to take advantage of that really, really well.
And yeah, it looks like right now Togaia is the one dealing with these misdrops as they do manage to fix it, get back to the queen, but immediately followed up with another misdrop. It looks like QMK not in the best position to get the kill, but they do start put their queen back to back chain and have that 6 combo with the perfect well here. Togaia just bursting to make their way out, barely surviving that onslaught, but QMK still has that back to back, continuing this pressure here, while Togaia tries to make their way out as they misdrop, trying to find the spin, does get the combo to barely blue, but still not enough. There are 19 back-to-back by QMK to tie it off. Oh my goodness.
Yet again, we're at first to 3 now. It just keeps going down for both of these players. That's absolutely wild how close this set just is. They're just both so evenly matched. It just keeps going back to even, and right now it's up to these players to fix that. Oh, but Togaia with so much back-to-back, QMK almost has to accept it all, but is able to find a cancel just in time.
Oh, but miss hell there! Oh my goodness, that's so sad. Yeah, and with that, Togaia taking back the lead, now only 2 away from winning this first set here. QMK losing that wiggle room that they had the previous round, but still they are playing so well right now. Have a great well to work with here, get a nice combo of 14 to send some cheese to Togaia, but looks like Togaia just gets down through it immediately, and now QMK is the one trying to downstack.
Yeah, looks like Togaia now trying to continue this back-to-back here, but QMK is also very ready to accept. Tries that counter spike, sends off all of that garbage, but Togaia is not in a position to fall over just yet. Is gonna try to counter spike here, and QMK with that misdrop at the top, and Togaia is suddenly at a 2-point lead here, about to take this first set in this first of 3. There's 2 more of these insanely close nail biter sets.
Oh, and then Togaia starting the round off with the PC. QMK does find the combo to make their way down, but again, they need to win 3 in a row here if they want to win, and that Omish drop they just made isn't helping, but looks like Togaia not in a position to kill. QMK just trying to find any sort of downstack, getting sent to the top here. Does make it back down to the queen, but in the meantime, Togaia did get the chance to pressure, but couldn't maintain that back for long, and now is getting spiked up by QMK, and QMK, he takes it there, 1 away from tying it back up.
Oh, this is absolutely still anyone's game. QMK could come from behind and just take it all, and behind is, by the way, a 2-point difference. Like, that's how close this is. What a set. So QMK greeting a little too much, and that decision is going to cost him this first set here of the Tetrio World Championship. Top 16.
What a performance by both of them. That was every round was just so clean. It was just minor mistakes that cost them. And yeah, with that, Togaia taking the first one. But I mean, with how these rounds are going, QMK definitely has a chance of actually winning the second one. It's just if they can pull it out and get the dub.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is definitely a scenario where that can happen with how close both of these players are. Wow. That's crazy. And yeah, Togaia playing at 0.7 PPS faster this entire set.
Yeah, I like the speed gap does make sense, but the fact that QMK was able to deal with it so well for so many games is just a testament to their ability to downstack through all of that clean and get the wins when Togaia does make any mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. You can absolutely point out like any mistake. Like there's always gonna be like a single mistake that like causes the top out here, and QMK is great at taking advantage of that. Going into the second set now. Getting into it. Both of these players upstacking. Togaia building this perfect clear into 6-3, or rather like this perfect clear setup into Fractal. It's fine. Something you see.
get a huge combo to send to QMK, but QMK downstacks through it in time, but TOGAIA follows it up with a nice spike there. TOGAIA does make their way down, but again, TOGAIA has that back-to-back going right now, does break out of it to send a little bit of cheese, but QMK making it down so fast that it does not matter whatsoever. That 22 spike did not send anything to QMK at all here, and we're back to a pretty neutral position at this point.
Yeah, QMK very carefully going down, timing his attacks a little bit to make it through, while TOGAIA is still just playing so quickly. Just a little bit more pausing in this game, but it's okay. Both these players are going to be very smart about it here. And QMK building up a lot of forecasted overhangs, going to get that 17 multiplier there, going to try to just keep TOGAIA under pressure. TOGAIA isn't faltering though.
Yeah, they are working with a lot of clean here. Do have a bit of cheese under that. Forced to break back-to-back to get out of it. QMK ready with a massive spike on the other side there. Sends 20, but TOGAIA bursting so fast they canceled nearly all of it. QMK not able to keep a back-to-back chain going after that. Do send a nice spike to follow it up, but TOGAIA, again, just making it down so fast. It's just, they are just down-stacking so quickly. I swear, they're getting whiplash from it, but it does not matter. They're still working through it. And right now, QMK trying to survive this nice spike by TOGAIA here. Gets sent all the way to the top. Misdrops the L piece, not able to fix it in time. TOGAIA taking that first game.
Again, that like one mistake causes the end of QMK here. Just have to stay solid the entire time, otherwise you're just gone. And oh, speaking of mistakes, that misdrop on the opener from QMK. Though QMK is able to make it out this time. It is fairly early on, and we're back to even. Back to a normal board state. QMK has a lot of clean to work with now. Is going to be very smart about it. Tries to just stay slow, stay calm. Uses that clean to kind of cancel out.
Keeping that back-to-back so well. Two really nice donations in that middle of that upstack. Still keeping it going. Barely canceling that spike by TOGAIA. Does survive it, but can't keep back-to-back any longer there. Does try to go for donation, but chooses to go again. Chooses not to do it for better judgment, and that sends TOGAIA all the way up to the top, but both of them sitting so high up at this point, both just trying to make their way down while spiking the other up, but looks like neither of them did top out from it, and now both of them sitting at the bottom, starting to build back-to-back up once again.
Yeah, absolutely. QMK is going to work with this 8-1 to make this back-to-back happen, but is just going to go down and cancel it out. Cleans up the board. TOGAIA now with this big counter spike here. That's going to almost be it for QMK. Gets the Tetris down to try to cancel, but just can't quite make it out anyways. Getting sent so much there, TOGAIA just keeps the pressure going. What a wild few games. TOGAIA yet again taking the first game here, or the first two games. Starting up a very quick lead at the start. Oh, and looks like TOGAIA going for this Imperial Cross, but in the time that it takes him to set it up, QMK is all the way out now. Gonna be all the way down. Even like the time it takes to set something cool up is time that your opponent can use to just survive, but this time TOGAIA isn't gonna give QMK that opportunity, and TOGAIA is up 3-0 on QMK now.
Yeah, and with that, I feel like the momentum is just favoring TOGAIA here. QMK might be a little bit tired out after that previous set, and I mean, it was such a long set and completely understandable, but looks like TOGAIA now taking advantage here. Immediately starting with that pressure this round, QMK is able to survive it here, but TOGAIA again following it up with more back-to-back. Still not done here. Just going with so much pressure at this point. It's very hard for even QMK to keep up.
Absolutely, yeah. And it looks like TOGAIA is still back-to-backing here. Near the top of the board, though, does have to start canceling out. Starts down-stacking a little bit here. And is able to make it out. Going to build up this T-spin. It is really risky, but TOGAIA is able to make it. And even though QMK has been trying to pressure here, TOGAIA is going to be able to make it. And now, yeah, both of these players here, a bit of waiting from QMK and trying to counter spike here, but Togaia just has the pressure to just completely cancel out. And right now, they're just both so even. Both of them misdrop, but Togaia fixes it. Now QMK has to after that spike, but is going to be able to.
Yeah, I feel like both of these players starting to tire out a bit here. They're definitely misdropping a lot more than that previous set, making a lot more mistakes. It does give each other the opportunity to survive. And right now we can see QMK is surviving super well, down stacking with that 4 back-to-back here, but Togaia ready with an STSD on the other side to cancel all of that attack. And now QMK breaks out of that back-to-back, and we're back to even here. Togaia trying to find a way to build some back-to-back, but QMK finding that PC does not care about Togaia's back-to-back streams and almost taking care of it. Togaia still surviving there. I was not expecting that survival. QMK not able to get that killing blow, and Togaia with such a clean board right now to keep it going.
This is so clutch. Both of these players are just surviving from the brink of death and just still going. Melts through that cheese, even under pressure, just going to solve that so quickly. There's just not an issue. Right now, neither of these players are going to fold. They're both so low, even after all of that damage, all of that pressure from earlier in the round. But it looks like QMK now trying to build up something. Going to use that garbage, goes for the spike. But
as we keep progressing, we're approaching that margin time, and the spikes are only going to get bigger. I don't think we've had a single margin time these previous 2 sets so far, even though both of these players have been playing so well. And with that, we can see QMK did have that 7 back-to-back, but forced to break out of it. Now trying to deal with that gravity as they downstack. Not the cleanest board, but do make their way down. In the meantime, Togaia has been building up that back-to-back, does misdrop, and breaks out of it, and now gets sent a huge spike. He's up so much by QMK right now. Just trying to find any way to get through this. He's cannot do it in time. QMK finally taking their first win in the book. What a round to do so.
Wow, that round was just so long. It felt like either player could have bowed out at any point there, but in the end, it's going to come down to that final misdrop there, that final mistake. Just like so many of the rounds before. And, alright, Togaia is speeding up, and that speed up is enough to take it. Togaia building up a solid lead this time around. This momentum just keeps building and building and building and building.
Yeah, even with that previous 3+ minute long round that they lost, it did not matter. They just followed up with a quick win and might get another one here. Sends a massive spike. QMK barely able to cancel all of that, making it back down. But Togaia continuing this speed right now. Does build up a back-to-back chain, not enough to kill. QMK does get out of it. In the meantime, does have a nice donation to change wells there, but not able to keep it going for very long. And now both of them, again, sitting at the bottom of the boards, trying to find any way to start this back-to-back again.
Yeah, and looks like QMK is in a great position to start doing so. This board state is wonderful, and QMK is going to start stacking up some back-to-back. Togaia, though, is all the way down. There's no garbage. There's a man-made stack to the maximum, and that's going to do it. Another game to Togaia, just continues riding it. Just continues riding the wave. It's 5-1 now.
Yeah, looks like Togaia just figured out some of that secret sauce, because they are not stopping right now. QMK not able to get anything cooking at this point. And yeah, they're just struggling to get even a single win at this point. Togaia playing so well, just downstacking any spike being sent. And right now, QMK trying to get that back-to-back ping going. Does have a spike ready here, but again, forced to break out of it as Togaia sends way too much. Even though Togaia does misdrop a little bit here, follows it up with such a clean fix. And now trying to get the finishing blow, but QMK just making it down so well.
Wow. Just absolutely incredible play here. And Togaia with the all clear, but QMK is unfazed this time around. Isn't gonna fall to it. And it's just all the way at the bottom, building up this back-to-back X11 now. I think QMK's skills and timing definitely show when it comes to just building up this back-to-back and keeping it going, and then just playing the slow and steady race. QMK is going to take this round with that efficient sequence.
Yeah, that was like 220 APM at like low 3 PPS. So impressive by QMK. That's the efficiency that you come to see from them. And I mean, it worked out, finally getting their second win. They absolutely needed that to keep it close here. But immediately starting this round with a difficult board state, Togaya ready with the pressure here. QMK just in the down stack mindset right now, trying to find any way out and not able to do it. And once again, Togaya able to win a quick one to follow it up. I feel like even though QMK gets so many long rounded wins, Togaya follows it up with a quick, fast win to even it back up, and QMK cannot do anything with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just can't get any like momentum going right now. Togaya just cannot be stopped. And we'll see if Togaya can ride this all the way to top 8. Right now, looking like it with that 27, and QMK is being sent up. Does have them out here and is able to make it down. Togaya doesn't quite get the kill, but it is really, really close. And QMK is getting put in danger a lot. But QMK now is in a great position to start fighting back a little bit more. Does skim a little bit to fix that misdrop, but is going to keep this pressure going. Togaya, though, isn't in any danger at all, and QMK just has to look to set up for a better position here. Is going to be able to clean things up yet again. Needs to start getting this back-to-back chain going, and QMK is going to be able to, though is going to skim out now, losing at ×8, loses that attack bonus there that QMK has been using to take a lot of these rounds. And Togaya is just not stopping with the speed, just keeps the pressure going no matter what.
Yeah, I just feel like Togaya is just abusing their speed to get so many wins. And right now, QMK is dealing with a bit of that tease that Togaya sent using that speed advantage. And in the meantime, Togaya has been trying to build back-to-back, not able to maintain it for very long. Yeah, QMK able to downstack and just immediately send back here, forcing Togaya out of that back-to-back. And at this point here, QMK is the one with such a clean well to work with here. Yeah, gets such a massive spike.
Oh, but it's not enough to kill, and Togaya now is going to use all that garbage against QMK, but isn't able to use it efficiently enough for it to kill. We're just back to even yet again. That's absolutely wild. Togaya building up some donations at the top now. This height difference, this 35 spike, QMK is out of there. Even
we
with
got
like
production in the background saying "damn" as well. That's when you know it's impressive.
That's wild. Yeah, QMK had like such a clean board too, but just was spiked out before he could get the chance to use it. And yeah.
You cannot get the kill if you're dead there, and that's what happened to QMK. Now at this point, 5 points behind here, trying to find any way to kill, but Togaya following that up with a massive spike, sending a lot of cheese, and then another spike to follow it up there. Now bringing it to 8-2, only 3 away from taking it. They just started rolling at the set, and they cannot be stopped at this point. QMK struggling to do anything to compete with this speed.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, Togaya just keeps taking advantage of that speed for sure, and is going to try to keep it going here, playing at 4 PPS here compared to QMK's 2.8. The difference is absolutely wild, and it's really, really difficult to fight. QMK has to put everything into making sure every single piece placement is as efficient as possible, taking his time to make sure that he just times perfectly here. But at some point, Togaya is just going to quickly spike out.
Yeah, just that relentless pressure by Togaya is just so hard to compete against, even if you're someone like QMK. That speed advantage has been so useful for them. And right now they send up that Trinity into another Trinity follow-up. Plus Bishop, they're not even hitting me, Togaya!
Togaya!
What are you doing?
Togaya!
That was the sort of flop of all time. That was ridiculous.
The PCs for both players, Togaya getting it off of the garbage Tetris there, but QMK is gonna counter spike it. Oh, the the spike there, 17! QMK has...
Togaia's still alive! Oh my goodness.
Even with like the perfect board, the pressure from QMK, or Togaia just had the speed to get out, and it's not gonna happen forever though. QMK is gonna take it. It's 8-4
getting two
now.
in a row there. Yeah, that's what they really needed. Maybe Togaia getting a little greedy that 2 rounds ago, but now QMK looks like they might start to build momentum with these 2 wins in a row here. Oh, immediately followed up with a miss shot. I should not have spoke there. Togaia getting a huge back-to-back chain, getting another win, 2 away from moving on to top 8.
Oh no, yeah, that is not a miss drop you want to see, and yeah, Togaia has just been running away with it this set, even after how close the first one was. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, but these miss drops there, QMK is going to take a point back.
Yeah, they are misdropping a bit more these last couple of rounds, maybe getting fatigued at this point with, I feel like it's been like over 30 rounds in a row, basically. QMK still has a massive uphill battle, though. Yeah, playing with such a speed deficit. Togaia getting this back-to-back chain built so fast right now. QMK just forced to downstack through all of it as they keep getting pressured more and more up. And Togaia with the perfect well.
Oh my, this well is so good. Togaia just keeps it going. 300
APM for 30 seconds to bring it to match point. What do you do against that?
You just collapse, apparently. Even if you're QMK, someone who's known for surviving, he can survive so much, but Togaia is just pressuring so ridiculously much. It's the set is wild. It's absolutely speechless right now. Looks like QMK is trying to counter spike a little bit. And
yeah, has that back-to-back chain going right now, trying to get any wins in the book. They have no more room to work with. Does survive that spike by Togaia, but now Togaia has the chance to build that back-to-back here. Is up to 5 at this point, keeping it going. QMK just trying to downstack now as Togaia continues this relentless pressure that has gotten them so many wins in a row. And right now they're starting to build it up here. Immediately breaks out of it, not able to keep it for much longer. QMK does live and has their own back-to-back chain they're trying to build. Togaia now the one trying to downstack through all of this pressure.
Yeah, and now Togaia has to use up that eyepiece. That is death, and QMK is going to start closing this gap a little bit. It's 10-6, only a 4-game gap, which, considering how close these players are, if QMK can get some momentum going, this could also reach a tiebreaker. So we can't get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot to go, and QMK with an unfortunate misdrop.
Yeah, and look at Togaia already with such a massive spike there. QMK gets the perfect double Tetris to clear all of it there. So nicely done, but Togaia is not stopping here. Gets a 4 combo into so much cheese being sent to QMK. Now they're trying to downstack through all of it here as Togaia is building up that back-to-back. Starting to speed up again here, but follows it up with that S misshop into T misshop. Lets QMK get out of that pressure.
Yeah, and Togaia now just clearing through those misdrops with 4.2 PPS here is going to have that speed advantage to make it out. And looking like right now Togaia is in a position to start back-to-backing here. Gets down to that well. That is really good for him. But QMK is going to start going back here. Counter spikes a little bit. Is going to be alive. The set is so good. Togaia now going for this LST a little bit, going to cancel out of that back-to-back chain, though QMK now is starting to build up some pressure, and this could be it with a couple of misdrops from Togaia, and there's no eyepiece in sight. QMK keeps the set going, isn't going to fall over yet, even though we're still on match point here.
Yeah, that was just such a clean set by QMK. They did start to speed up there and got that 11 back-to-back, but immediately into this next round, looks like they go for PCs. Togaia does get the second one, maybe a little bit risky as they get sent to the top, but do make it back down to the clean well. In the meantime, QMK just downstacking to the bottom as well, and now both of them dealing with clean wells as they start to build some back-to-back here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like QMK has the perfect board to keep this back-to-back going, whereas Togaia is just getting it started here. QMK can cancel out so much with just one send now, and is going to try to close it out with that bit of combo at the end, but Togaia is able to get out, surviving even at the top of the board there, and now QMK is out of here with an unfortunate board say hesitates just a little too long, and that is game.
Yeah, that ending was so dramatic. QMK nearly had the kill. Togaia was at the top, nearly dead, but they managed to find the out as QMK makes a mistake, and with that, Togaia takes it, moving on to top 8. What a performance by both of them. QMK was struggling at the start there, but I mean, they brought it back so well near the end there, just barely not enough. And with that, Togaia wins 2 sets and moves on to top 8. Amazing performance by them.